Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Yeah, a little different for a morning video, but got a lot of things to do today, getting started on it. Some rain today. It's supposed to rain through till noon or so, and then after that, a big cool off. In fact, the next few nights, they're talking about lows in the mid to upper 30s, which haven't seen that in quite a while around here. So if you're around here or in that kind of weather, you probably should be preparing yourself for a little bit of a cool down. Some of you might even be firing up the old wood stoves for the first time this year. So apparently the Secretary of DHS, Moriatis, you know, whatever, you know the guy. Apparently he has said that the border problem is getting out of control, that there's just too many people coming across the border, and it's at a crisis level. I mean, we've been saying that for a long time, and the Biden administration has denied it, has even said that border crossings, illegal border crossings, are the lowest that they've been in a long time. Sorry, it's been raining for a day or so. The road's all washboarded and muddy and everything, so it's a little bouncy, but you'll be all right. You know, if you want to survive the end of the world, you're gonna have to survive a bumpy road and crazy audio. But anyway, so he's saying now that, well, maybe there is a crisis at the border, and maybe we need to have some funding for some increased border security, and maybe even a wall. What? A wall? You mean the wall that was trying to be put up by Trump, and Biden recently sold off all the remaining parts because he stopped building the border wall, said it was a bad, horrible idea, and sold off all the pieces to finish it? That wall? Yeah. You know, even if they stopped border crossings right now, and they wouldn't be able to, but let's just pretend that they did. The damage is already done. I mean, certainly the damage could get worse every passing day, and there's been videos coming out just the last 24, 48 hours of, my goodness, it's just hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands of people rushing the border, literally rushing it, you know, running towards the border and getting across. But even if they were able to stop that immediately, the damage has already been done. Millions have come across, and they're here. And the likelihood of ever being able to round them up and kick them out is, well, unlikely. So even if not a single more come across the border, it's already been done. And of course, as you all, I'm sure, are aware of, it is going to continue to happen for probably quite some time, and just worsening the problem. Thing is this is all being done for a purpose. It's all part of their plan. It's part of their globalist New World Order takeover plan. It's called population replacement. You see, they're trying to destroy the Western world, and they're doing that through low fertility rates, through high birth defect and birth miscarriage rates. They're doing it with just people not having very many children anymore, encouraging that. They're doing this with just all these died suddenly kind of things, and all the stuff that's being done to our system, high cancer, unusually high cancer rates now in young people, all of these things because of all the different garbage that they're putting into people's bodies. They're spraying in the air, that they're just doing, and then the mental stuff, where young people, a lot of them don't even want to have children anymore. They're having their sexual organs chopped off and stuff to where they couldn't even have a child if they wanted to. This is all being done for a purpose because they want to destroy the Western society, the Western world. That's why it's happening in Europe also. And I believe the greater purpose is that they can't really bring about this New World Order, Great Reset, without destroying the Western world, because the Western world is really the antithesis of everything that this new order stands for. The Western world traditionally is about family values and, biblical Christian values. Not saying that everyone is a Christian, of course, but that's where the foundation of the Western society is, of being productive and having privacy and property ownership and all of these things, capitalism. And so they have to destroy all of that before they can bring about their new globalist plan. And that's why we're seeing it happen. It's going to continue to get worse, folks. All of the things that's been going on that specifically are attacking those things, morals and traditions and family and God and the Bible, it's all going to continue to happen. And you and I have to really kind of brace ourselves for it. Even if all of this stuff isn't going to happen immediately, the downfall and destruction, even if it doesn't happen in the next weeks or months, or even a few years, we know that it's going to happen and it's inevitable. If you look at history, if you look at how other civilizations collapsed, Western civilization is on the same exact path. Economically, the currency devaluation, just the chaotic and demoralization of our society, it's all on track with every other great civilization in history that has collapsed previously. And so we know that's what we're seeing. I think the big confusion is the timeline. Do we have a little bit of time left, or do we have a lot of time left? Regardless of what the timeline is, we can't just discount it and say, well, I've heard all this before, that could be years down the road. Even if it is years, it's still not a lot of time, folks. It's not a lot of time for us to get ourselves and families ready, for us to start teaching our children a better way, teaching them how things were meant to be, teaching them about our history, about our faith, and about strong moral values. We don't have a lot of time to do that kind of stuff, to raise up future generations that still retain these principles that have been in our society for hundreds, even thousands of years. They're trying to destroy that. That's why we're seeing all this mass migration, from Africa into Europe, and from, South America and the Middle East and Asia and Africa into North America. They have to bring it down. And it's only going to get worse. The videos coming out of Europe over the last few months are increasing, showing the levels of just random violence on the streets from migrants towards Europeans. And it's the same thing here in the United States. We're seeing just rapid increases in violence in areas where there's been, massive amounts of migrants moving into. Most of these migrants, I can't speak for all of them, but most of them appear to not be anything like the migrants that came to this country, the illegals, from decades past, where they've typically come to America with the intent of trying to improve their life. They come here to get a job, they want a better way of life. That doesn't seem to be the intent this time. They've come here to destroy what we have, to take over. And it is going to destroy us. It is going to be one of those things that destroy us. All of the naysayers, when they talk about the economy and how, it's not that bad. I don't think we're quite going to see an economic collapse. All of the things that's happening in our economy right now that aren't good, and then you're adding millions of people into that economy that for the most part is going to be draining it. And even those that are working, the vast majority of that money is being sent back to their home world, their home country, wherever they're from. And so it's not being recirculated into our economy. So either way, we're losing. And it's going to put even more pressure on our already frail economy. There's so many factors that go on when we're looking at all of this. And it's all being done for purpose. And I know that most of you get that. Some of you aren't quite there yet. But I'm telling you that this is not just a random time that we live in. That's just how unusual all of these things are happening right now. We have to be getting ready for it, because if they're willing to go to this extent, I'm pretty sure they're willing to go to the full extent of their plans that they've been telling us about for years. And it's going to be to completely destroy us, to take away your property, to take away your rights. You're not going to own anything. You'll be happy because they tell you to be happy. You're going to give up your privacy. You're going to give up your property ownership. You're going to give up your autonomy of your body, the control of your body, your mind. They're going to know your mind. They're going to know your thoughts. You're going to give up the rights to believe and have the faith in God the Creator and His Word in the way that you see fit. You're going to have to give up the rights to raising your children the way that you see fit. Everything that has been a basic, fundamental belief of this society is being destroyed. And that's why we have to prepare for it. And that's why I so strongly encourage you to find other people like you, to get out of these cities, get out of these high population areas, out of these areas where they control how you live already, that you can't even build a doghouse without a permit, or a shed in your backyard. You can't collect rainwater. You have to live this certain way because of all of these ordinances and regulations and HOAs that none of them are laws telling you what you can and can't do on your private property. You need to get away from that. Places out like where I live, there aren't any. You don't even need building permits to build your home. You don't need inspections to build your home. It's much more of a free environment. You can come out here and find others that, for the most part, live out here for those same reasons. And that's a first step. It doesn't take care of everything. It doesn't fix all the problems, but it gets you further away from the problems. And it's also gets you to a place where you're more likely to find other people like yourself. And then just keep preparing, and keep preparing in the sense of becoming more and more self-sufficient, more and more capable of being independent of all of this system, because this system, whether it's government or private, is what's controlling us and what will continue to control us. And if you don't find yourself cutting the bonds and the ties from that, you're going to get sucked in also. It's just how it's going to be. If you don't know how to exist without them, when it comes down to existing, you're going to need them, and you'll have to go crawling back to them and accepting whatever bonds and whatever chains that they place upon you. You need to be getting your houses in order, folks. You need to be preparing yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.